The peaceful night in Paris was a stark contrast to the emotional storm raging in the hearts of millions of armies around the world. Out of nowhere, a Weverse live broadcast went live, unannounced, unpromoted, and completely unexpected. On screen appeared BTS's Kim Taehyung, V, looking unlike his usual self. His face carried signs of exhaustion, sadness, and inner turmoil. Gone were the cheerful jokes, the soft laughter, and the casual energy that usually kicked off his live streams. Instead, silence lingered, an eerie quietness, before Taehyung finally uttered his first words. "I know you all saw what happened at the airport. And I think it's time for me to talk." Instantly, fans watching knew that this wasn't just another check-in or casual chat. There was a visible hesitation in his tone, a noticeable weight in his voice. He wasn't simply in a bad mood, he seemed overwhelmed, like he'd been silently carrying an emotional burden for far too long. Some fans speculated this was the moment Taehyung could no longer suppress the pressure he had been enduring behind closed doors. A few days earlier, Taehyung had left for Paris to attend a major fashion event. But what should have been a routine airport appearance at Incheon turned chaotic. Hundreds of fans crowded the scene, calling his name, trying to take photos, and some even reaching out to touch him. The crowd overwhelmed the security team, creating a tense and disorganized environment. Amid the frenzy, Taehyung's stern expression was captured on video. Clips showing him visibly distressed, even appearing irritated, circulated rapidly online. The footage sparked divided reactions. Some fans blamed others for becoming too aggressive and seeking interaction. Others criticized Taehyung for seeming cold or annoyed. Still others held the agency accountable for failing to provide better protection. Amid the sea of opinions, what hurt Taehyung most was the backlash that came from people he had long trusted, his fans. In the live stream, he quietly admitted, "I'm not doing well. I don't want to make anyone afraid or sad, but I feel like I can't breathe." As he recounted the moment the crowd chanted his name, he described feeling suffocated instead of supported. The singer admitted that his mental state that day was fragile, not merely from exhaustion or a busy schedule, but from deeper, more personal struggles he didn't feel ready to elaborate on. He emphasized, "I don't want to be cold, but I'm also not a statue that can smile all the time." As his words sunk in, the comment section filled with messages of support and love. Then, something happened that sent the live stream into an even more emotional dimension. A phone screen flash appeared, brief but visible, and many claimed it showed a message notification, "I'm watching your broadcast. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I'm here. I know you." The sender? Reportedly, none other than fellow BTS member Jungkook. In that moment, Taehyung teared up, lowered his gaze, and softly chuckled, saying, "He always knows before I say anything." According to alleged sources close to them, Jungkook, currently fulfilling his mandatory military service, had been granted temporary access to watch the broadcast due to his concern following the airport incident. One anonymous insider claimed Jungkook was deeply emotional, even crying upon seeing Taehyung so vulnerable. This alleged interaction between the two touched armies globally. Fans saw it not just as an exchange between bandmates but as a profound reflection of their long-standing friendship. A bond that, according to many, was built not just on stage performances but on years of emotional connection, mutual respect, and shared silence. Taehyung ended the broadcast by saying, "Jungkook may not be here right now, but I know he's always listening." The line felt deeply personal, as if meant directly for Jungkook, wherever he was watching from. The South Korean media, initially critical of the airport incident, began shifting their tone. Articles applauded Taehyung's courage to show his human side. One piece read, "Kim Taehyung is not just a star. He represents millions of young people who carry silent wounds." However, as the emotional dust began to settle, facts started emerging that challenged many of the most viral claims. First and foremost was the alleged message from Jungkook. After fans and video analysts closely rewatched the live stream, they found no actual footage confirming that the message notification ever appeared. What many had believed to be a screenshot of Jungkook's supportive message was later revealed to be fan-made, an edited image circulated for emotional effect or fictional storytelling. There was also no evidence that Jungkook had sent any messages during the broadcast. Given his status as an active-duty soldier, his access to devices and social platforms is severely limited and tightly monitored. The viral claim of Jungkook weeping while watching Taehyung's live turned out to be traced back to unverified fan accounts claiming to be his close friends. These stories, although widely shared, were never backed by HYB or credible news outlets. Another point of clarification centered around the airport footage itself. While it's true that Taehyung appeared tense, follow-up reports from reputable media suggested his expression wasn't aimed at fans but rather at the overwhelmed security team who struggled to control the crowd. Witnesses present at the scene noted that despite the stress, Taehyung greeted fans respectfully and made eye contact when possible. During his live broadcast, Taehyung never blamed armies directly. He instead apologized generally for how he appeared at the airport and emphasized that his emotional reaction stemmed from internal, personal reasons, not frustration with fans. Therefore, claims that Taehyung felt disappointed in his supporters or wanted distance from them are largely misinterpretations fueled by emotional assumptions. HYB Entertainment has never released any official statements regarding Jungkook's involvement in the broadcast, nor have they confirmed any interaction or emotional exchange between the two during this period. This lack of verification underscores the fact that some of the most shared stories, messages, tears, unseen calls, were fueled by fan speculation, not concrete evidence. Why, then, do these kinds of narratives gain such traction so quickly? The answer lies in the intense emotional investment armies have in BTS. When one member appears vulnerable, fans instinctively rally with overwhelming empathy and imagination. This loyalty is one of ARMY's greatest strengths, but also its greatest risk. Because in emotionally charged moments, lines between fact and fiction blur easily. This doesn't mean fans shouldn't care or show support. But it does highlight the importance of distinguishing between truth and dramatized interpretation. Not everything shared on social media, even by passionate fans, reflects reality. There's a fine line between honoring an idol's pain and unintentionally twisting their story to fit emotional desires. In the end, Taehyung's broadcast served a powerful purpose. It opened a window into the mind of a global superstar who, despite the glitz and glamour, carries very human pain. But the additional layers added by fan theories and fabricated messages risk overshadowing that authentic vulnerability. As for Jungkook, did he cry? Did he send a message? We simply don't know. And that's okay. What we do know is that both artists deeply care for one another and their friendship.